Inna Sovsun is a Ukrainian member of parliament and is in the capital, Kiev. I asked her about how she'd cope with what might lie ahead.
Myself, as an MP, I was provided with weapons, as were many other Ukrainians all over Kiev and many other cities. Also, we are kind of getting used to hiding in shelters during the air strikes. That is becoming the new norm here in Ukraine. So this is the basic stuff that we do have right now. I am not currently involved in direct street fighting. I'm definitely not trained for that. But if time comes to that, I would be participating in it if it needs to be done. For the time being, I do feel relatively safe in where I am staying, and I hope that stays this way.
But if it comes to it, you will use a gun.
I will have to. I'm not leaving Kiev. I'm not leaving Kiev to Putin to stay here. I'm not letting a single Russian soldier to come and stay in my city.
Tell me about your mum and dad. Are they okay?
My dad took my mum to the west of Ukraine so that she would be safer. And right now he's actually on his way back to Kiev. I actually talked to him this morning, and he said that he is coming back because he wants to protect the city. He's 61 years old. He's an Afghan veteran, and his knees are really hurting, so he doesn't walk very fast. So I asked him, like, what are you going to do? You barely walk. It's difficult for you to walk. And he said, well, I can crawl. That's what I'm going to do. So he is getting enlisted into the territorial defense. My boyfriend is enlisted into the army. My son is to the west of Ukraine. Well, that's basically all of my family's arrangements in this weird time here in Ukraine.
How will the coming hours and days play out? Do you see any chance now of a political solution?
I don't see any chance for a political solution. Let's be honest, it never actually existed. You can find political solution when there is a rational political will. What we are seeing right now is a crazy dictator in Moscow who doesn't understand what he's doing, why he's doing. He's driven by his rage, his hatred towards Ukraine. No one trusts or no one believes his claims that he just wants Ukraine to be neutral, because what we know is that he just wants Ukraine to stop existing as a sovereign state. Let me remind the audience here that Putin actually attacked Ukraine and annexed Crimea in 2014 when we were officially a neutral state. We were not part of NATO. We were not declaring that we are going to join NATO. But he still attacked us. So his hatred towards Ukraine is completely irrational, and thus you cannot really conduct negotiations with such a person.
Ukraine is vastly outgunned. The Russian military is enormous in comparison. How will Kiev defend itself in the face of the onslaught of the Russian army?
We do realize that overall Russian army is bigger, but not all of his army is attacking Ukraine at the same time. And the numbers that he is using to attack Ukraine are actually smaller compared to the Ukrainian defense here. And then add additional thing. Actually, every single Ukrainian right now is involved in defense of its country. We are seeing people kicking ass to Russians like all over the country. We're hearing babushkas, like old ladies, who are talking to Russians and inviting them to have tea, and at the same time, Ukrainian military men are destroying their tanks. So they're not just fighting Ukrainian army; they're actually fighting 40 million of people here living in Ukraine. Every single one of them is ready to commit themselves to fighting them. So we are not outnumbered here. Actually, the Russians are outnumbered here, and that is why they didn't succeed in their blitzkrieg plan as they were planning to.